He said I was just helping him move on, until the day he introduced me to his dying mother and called me his wife. I never expected to fall for someone who couldn't even look me in the eye when we met. Noah Andrews was quiet, brooding, and barely healed from the heartbreak of a 5-year relationship that had ended just 3 months before. I met him at a book cafe in Brighton, where I worked part-time while doing my postgrad at Sussex. He walked in soaked from the rain, asked for black coffee, and forgot his wallet. I paid not because he was handsome, but because he looked lost. The next day, he returned with money and a thank you note, asking if he could sit and talk. That conversation lasted hours. We became friends, then something more. But it always felt like I was standing in someone else's shadow, like he was touching my hand but holding someone else's memory. I asked once, "Am I a rebound?" He didn't answer, just kissed my forehead and said, "You're helping me feel again." It hurt, but I stayed. Weeks turned into months. We shared late night takeaways, beach walks, even a trip to the Cotswolds. But he never said, "I love you." Never introduced me to his friends. I felt invisible, a placeholder. Until one Sunday he said, "Would you come with me to Manchester? Just for the weekend. I need to see my mom." I hesitated. He'd never mentioned family. I agreed, hoping maybe I was finally becoming more than a memory bandage. We arrived at a quiet hospice on the outskirts of the city. His mother, Eleanor, was frail, beautiful, lying in a room filled with lavender and fading photos. When she saw me, her eyes lit up. She whispered, "So you're the one he wrote about." I turned to him, confused. He smiled more openly than ever before and said, "Mom, meet my wife." My heart dropped. "Wife?" I stared at him. He gently squeezed my hand and whispered, "Please, just go along with it." I nodded, stunned as she cried tears of joy. For hours, I sat beside her, pretending to be something I wasn't, but the way Noah looked at me, it didn't feel like pretending. That night, I confronted him. "What was that?" I demanded. "You called me your wife?" He looked at the floor. "She doesn't have much time. Her biggest wish was to see me settle down, and I couldn't lie to her anymore. You're the only one who ever made me want that." I wanted to be angry, but the sincerity in his voice softened something inside me. Over the next 2 days, I saw him in ways I never had, wiping his mother's brow, reading to her, holding her hand as she slept. And every time our eyes met, there was a new truth in them. On the final night, Eleanor gave me a letter. "Open this after," she whispered. She passed in her sleep. At the train station, I opened the letter. It read, "I see how he looks at you. I knew from the first moment, you're not pretending, and neither is he." Tears blurred my vision. I looked up. Noah was already kneeling, this time with a real ring. "I know I lied," he said, "but I lied because I wanted it to be true." And under the gray Manchester sky, I realized I hadn't been a rebound. I'd been the ending he never expected, and the beginning he never believed he deserved.